So the rise that Aston Villa have had in the past few seasons has been astronomical. Under Unai Emery, they achieved Champions football, and there's no limit to how far they could go. Let's rewind a little and go over the recent history of Aston Villa. In the 2017-18 season, they lost out in the playoff final with veteran John Terry unable to overcome Slavica Jukanovic's Fulham after their flying second half of the season. After investing in the likes of John McGinn, players like Tammy Abraham and Anwar El Ghazi came on loan, Steve Bruce could only manage one win in his first 9 games of the 18-19 season. Dean Smith was poached from Brentford and he led them to a 5th place finish. Ultimately, they won the playoff final against Frank Lampard's Derby County 2-1. They were promoted alongside Norwich City and Sheffield United. Upon their promotion, Aston Villa bolstered their squad to achieve survival in the Premier League. Players who would go on to be pivotal in their rise like Douglas Luiz, Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa signed for the club. Although they survived, it was in controversial circumstances. After the ghost goal incident against Sheffield United, where it looked like Nyland carried the ball over the line and it was adjudged that the goal line technology wasn't turned on. Without this point, they would have been relegated instead of Bournemouth on goal difference. In the 2020-21 season, Aston Villa once again invested in their squad, signing players on big wages from the Championship, like Matty Cash, like Ollie Watkins. Emiliano Martinez also came from Arsenal, and they were looking much better. They finished on 11th with 55 points. Dean Smith was doing well, but the club hierarchy wanted them to keep progressing season on season. At the beginning of the 21-22 season, Jack Grealish left for a record-breaking transfer of £100 million to Manchester City. They reinvested the money in the likes of Leon Bailey, Danny Ings, Luca Digne and Emi Buendia. In the beginning of November, Dean Smith was ultimately sacked after 5 losses in a row. The hierarchy expects an improvement on the previous season, which was not achieved. Steven Gerrard was unveiled 4 days later with the club in 16th place, 2 points above the drop zone. Gerrard led them to a 14th finish on 45 points. Villa fans weren't fully convinced on Gerrard. In the 2022-23 season, Villa once again started the season slowly. Gerrard achieved just 2 wins by the 21st of October, which saw him lose his job. He won 13 in 40 matches at Villa. Unai Emery was subsequently appointed. He was known as the man who struggled to transition out of the Wenger era. But in Europe, he was known as a man who succeeds in Europe with Villarreal and with Sevilla, playing a fluid 4-4-2. He made an instant impact on the side. They finished 7th on 61 points, qualifying for the Europa Conference League. In the 23-24 season, Emery ball was in free flow. The squad was bolstered for Europe and they had a full pre-season with Unai. They finished 4th, they won 20 Premier League matches and scored 76 goals. Pau Torres led the back line, Emery's main man back at Villarreal. They took 9 points from 4 matches against Arsenal and Manchester City. Unfortunately, they did get knocked out against Olympiacos in the Europa Conference League semi-final, but to soften the blow, they did qualify for the Champions League. Ollie Watkins got a call-up to the Euros with the England squad with his teammate Konsa, and they reached the final. So let's talk tactics. So Emery's tactics are unique and they're difficult to counter. He has a solution for different situations and tactical battles. They play a variation of a 4-4-2, 4-2-2 and a 4-2-3-1, with players often fitting in certain roles. His team want to have the ball deep and they want to play through the thirds, whether that be a long pass or a series of short passes. One of his key tactical changes since joining was encouraging Ollie Watkins to run centrally, opposed to out wide, just like he did when he got the goal for England against the Netherlands, which took them to the final. They also recently beat Bayern in Europe, with John Duran making a similar run. This goal personified Villa perfectly, as they attack the space, not being afraid to go long and risk the ball in this situation. Much like all elite sides, Villa also play a variation of a 3-2-5 shape. Often it's Luca Digne pushing up on the left-hand side to form the 5, and then Ezri Konsa holding his position at right back to form the 3. Defensively, they play an aggressive 4-4-2 and often look to attack at the earliest stages once possession is regained. So far this season, Aston Villa have looked strong, and there's endless possibilities on where Unai Emery's side could finish. Thank you very much for watching.